Good evening to you. I'm Laura Queso. Russ Mitchell has a night off. Tonight, the city of Cleveland is getting ready for another weekend of demonstrations. Barricades went up earlier today at the Justice Center downtown, where the violence began during last weekend's demonstrations. A protest is planned for outside the 2nd District Police Headquarters tomorrow, and barricades are now up there as well. We've also learned that cloth masks from the Cuyahoga-County Emergency Operations Center will actually be given to the city so volunteers can hand them out to protesters at the 2nd District tomorrow. Well, 2 men are now facing federal charges in connection with Saturday's riots in downtown Cleveland, which happened after a peaceful protest calling for justice in the death of George Floyd. 23-year-old Brandon Althoff Long and 22-year-old Devin Bryce Poland from Erie, Pennsylvania were arrested this morning. 3 News investigator Rachel Polanski is breaking that story for us tonight.
A peaceful protest at the Free Stamp turned violent last Saturday, when dozens of businesses and buildings along Euclid Avenue were damaged and vandalized by rioters and looters. 6 days later, the FBI announced charges against these 2 men, Brandon Althoff Long and Devin Bryce Poland, who they say traveled from Erie, Pennsylvania to Cleveland to cause destruction and incite violence.
Items found in the vehicle included a firearm, numerous rounds of ammunition, fire gel, and a hammer, among other items.
According to the criminal complaint, the 2 face multiple charges, including bringing guns or explosives to Saturday's demonstration, as well as conspiracy to use those weapons to commit a federal felony. Investigators also got a hold of both men's cell phones.
None of the messages exchanged between Mr. Poland and Mr. Long mentioned how their travel to Cleveland was to memorialize and honor the memory of George Floyd. The sole aim was to fan the literal flames of rioters because, and I quote from their messages, "It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing."
A search of court records revealed that neither man had serious charges before today. Though Poland was arrested for an assault, that case was later dismissed. 3 News Investigates also found these photos on Althoff Long's Facebook page.
The work is just starting. There's still a lot of folks out there that came here with the intent to tear down our city.
Meanwhile, Cleveland Police Chief Calvin Williams says more arrests are forthcoming, adding that just this morning CPD arrested another 5 men who were trying to break into Progressive Field with fire starter and other materials.
We're not going to rest until as many of those folks as possible are brought to justice, period.
Special Agent Smith went on to say that the FBI, along with its law enforcement partners, will continue reviewing every photo, video, and social media posting, trying to figure out exactly what happened on Saturday night and who had a hand in making it happen. Reporting from the Cleveland Division of the FBI, I'm Rachel Polanski, 3 News.